Do you have an example of a technology that once you tried to introduce it into your workflow, so maybe it's a broken drum machine, but that like you were excited for, that you then found to be disappointing once you'd actually understood it and got your hands on it?
I mean, I'm always trying to introduce things into my workflow, but it's not necessarily like if I move on from a technology, it might not be because I'm disappointed. It might be that I really like bringing something new into the mix to get newer ideas. So all of my albums, I'll bring a different kind of synth in. And even if I love that synth, I won't use it on the next one because I'll try to just use the one synth for all of the tracks. And by, the 7th or 8th track, you're like, I want to use it in a different way. And you just find like more and more and more different ways to use it. So rather than using 8 different synths for 8 different tracks, you're kind of finding 8 different ways to use the same synth. So I feel like I'm like rinsing these instruments, trying to get as much out of them as I can. And then if I go, a year later, want to make another album, I'll want something new to kind of go through that process with. So I've kind of done that with a lot of different drum machines or samplers. Like I definitely did that with the Octatrack. And yeah, the point that I got to with the Octatrack, as I said, was it just took way too long to program what I wanted to do. And it's really, really robust in so many ways and it's an amazing instrument, but I just kind of want to move faster than I can with it in terms of making it a flexible, different set all of the time. So, as long as I can make what I want to make, I'm generally not that disappointed by technology.
So for you, is an album, is it the product of exploring a given like central instrument or set of instruments that do you consider it to be like kind of like a project within which you're trying to see how far you can push something?
Yeah, it's like what are the central ideas I'm working on at that moment, and it wouldn't necessarily just be an instrument, it might just be approaches and ideas.
Have you got another album in the works, or second part of that, what is the writing process for creating a body of work in that medium, in that way?
So the way I did Sweat Like Caramel is I just said to myself, I'm just going to go to the studio and have fun. And that kind of turned into me playing with the reel-to-reel tape machine. And then I was trying to use the reel-to-reel tape machine in all different ways. Like I was sampling tapes and cutting tapes and making tape loops and all kinds of things. So basically I just said, for 3 days a week, for 3 months, I'm going to play in my studio with a tape machine. I know I'm going to end up with some songs. That will be my album. And that's how I did that. But yeah, I don't have a project like that in the works right now. At the moment, I'm trying to finish off some more instruments, and I really want to make some music with these instruments that I've designed because for starters, because Chaos Spells was part of my PhD, I couldn't kind of show it and make music with it until after my PhD, because the way the studies ran is that the musicians had to not know about this instrument until I showed it to them in a specific way. So I couldn't, show online the building of it and me playing and things like that. So at that time, I was making Sweat Like Caramel as well. So I haven't kind of gotten now to the point where I am ready to make an album. But when I do, I want to do it with these instruments because I haven't made original music to release with these instruments yet. And so I think next I will maybe, rather than exploring other instruments, I might explore these instruments and take them as far as they can go.